Hello, it's Tori, and I'm back helping you to live in alignment with your passions and find inner peace in the crazy modern world through mindfulness and spiritual growth. Today, I want to talk about a topic which I think is growing in absolute importance, particularly as we come to the close of a very challenging, and some have said even the most difficult year in modern human history. So I want to talk about self-love, because I think this is something that all of us need right now more than ever before. I can vouch that having been on my own self-love journey for the past 2.5 years, I feel like integrating this concept and this state of being into my life has helped me become not only happier and more comfortable to be the person that I was born to be, but also have a much more happy and positive effect on the people around me. So first of all, what actually is self-love? Self-love is honoring your needs on all levels: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. It's being able to recognize what you need for yourself in any given moment, not being influenced by what other people might say or think, or what maybe other outside circumstances of influence might be encouraging you to do otherwise. The sad thing is that in the society that we live in, up to this point in time, there has been a very significant negative connotation put on the word selfish. We have been raised to believe that being selfish is a bad thing and that you should always put others before yourself. Now, when I'm saying this, I'm not saying that, you should always neglect the needs of others, but it's particularly important to be selfish in the moments where someone might be, for example, asking you to do something which is not in alignment or possible for you to do at that given moment, because say you might be overloaded with responsibilities and someone wants you to do a task for them. Don't feel like you have to bend over backwards just to please others. So it's very healthy and important to be selfish if it means that we're honoring our needs. Why is self-love important? Self-love is essential to live an optimal life, because when we neglect our body's urges, when we neglect the natural rhythms and calls of our soul, of our whole makeup, then this is when the body begins to lose its natural ease and flow. Have you ever actually considered what the word disease actually means? When you break it down, disease is quite literally the body functioning at a dis-ease. It's an out of alignment state, and that's why we get ill, why we get sick, is because we are neglecting the natural calls and urges from our body and from our minds as well. The real truth is, loving yourself is where the magic really begins. This is captured perfectly in a quote by the famous spiritual teacher Wayne Dyer, who says, "If you don't love yourself, nobody else will. Not only that, you won't be good at loving anyone else. Loving starts with the self." Imagine it like this. Imagine your vessel, your being, like a big pot ready to be filled with hot coffee. When you start to build and materialize a lot of love for yourself, you begin to fill up your pot. And once the pot gets filled to the top and you're so full of love or hot coffee, this is the point when you're able to allow that to tip and overflow, to pour into the pots of others. Another way that we have been fooled by society over a long period of time is through Hollywood and the TV industry, hearing things in romantic movies like, "You complete me." I hate to break this to you, babes, but no, that is not true. No person is ever going to be able to complete you. It's all about recognizing and realizing that you are already complete to begin with. You don't need another person to make you feel worthy. The beautiful thing about self-love is coming to a place where you feel so content in you, happy to be you, happy to go out and live your life and be with others and just feel comfortable in your own skin. And like I was using with the coffee analogy, it is at this point where one complete person can come together with another complete person to form a beautiful connection and just interlink in between. So, how do we begin to start building confidence and building love for ourselves? It's quite simply realizing that you are already perfect exactly as you are. You were born to be the person that you are meant to be, and there is nobody else in the world that is exactly like you. It doesn't matter how old you are, what size you are, what shape you are, what color you are. None of these little details matter. The problem is, and I know we're all very aware of this, is that the media and society paints this picture that we have to be this perfect person with a perfect body and a perfect IQ level and all these other things in order to be happy, fulfilled, and above all, worthy. No. The thing is, being imperfect is actually perfect. We are all perfectly imperfect human beings, and it's actually our imperfections that make us more lovable. If you have a person that is just too perfect, like, actually imagine this, they would just be boring. Someone that is really, really gorgeous, really, really smart, has the best job, I don't know, lives in the biggest house, like all these other things, then it's like, then you're left with what? Like, there's no room for error. It's not realistic, right? You know, nature is not perfect. They're all kind of wonks and creaks and, you know, knobbly bits. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Out there, which just shows how, you know, there's malfunctions happening all the time, and that's what's happening with us. And it's just really beginning to realize that the good and the bad things about us are all just things. It's the judgment that we put on these things, which is what makes us feel either good or bad about who we are. If we can learn to get to a place where we accept, acknowledge, and actually welcome all of the different parts of us to be a part of this big whole, that's when we can just take pride and an ownership for who we are and who we were meant to be. Because it is such a waste of time and energy trying to change something that cannot be changed. So a really great way that I would recommend starting off in becoming more aware of who you are and becoming aware of all the things about you, you can start with a very simple thing of just writing down on a piece of paper all your strengths and weaknesses. And you'll probably find that the list of strengths or good parts about you outweigh the negatives anyway. Let go of the judgment, let go of the self-sabotage, and just totally be clear and still with yourself, not comparing any of these elements of you to anyone else. What do you like about yourself, and what do you feel needs improving in yourself? Because even our weaknesses can always be improved and bettered. Think about your talents, think about your skills, think about your physical features, think about your personal qualities, your characteristics. Think about all the things that you also just enjoy doing, which make you feel good. And just really focus on this and feel how much love and positivity and joy you experience from really focusing on these things. Because one thing is sure, where our attention goes, things grow. What you focus on multiplies, intensifies. So the more we put our mind towards what we love about ourselves and reminding us of this on an everyday basis, the more we begin to cultivate genuine love, genuine self-adoration from the deepest level, and in turn radiate that out to the world and inspire others to do the same. How can we actually go about starting this self-love journey? We've got the theory, let's take the action. So I think a really great way to do this is to start at the very beginning of your day with a little ritual of affirmations. What this can be is like getting out of bed in the morning, going and looking at yourself in the mirror. In fact, the more half asleep you look, the better, and just totally embracing what it is that you see in the mirror and saying an affirmation or a mantra to yourself, which is empowering and uplifting. It's the things that we do at the beginning of our day that shape what the rest of our day will pan out to look like. Affirmations are so powerful because they are materializing our thoughts. When we put our thought energy into spoken word, that is transforming the thought into reality. We put a certain energy out into the world when we speak our mind, and through enough repetition and integration of this, the more true it becomes for us. With enough practice and patience, because obviously, you know, the first time you do this, don't think it's gonna suddenly be like, oh, okay, love myself now, easy, checklist, let's go. You know, like anything else, it takes a lot of practice, a lot of dedication and consistency and patience to really start to cultivate and build a genuine, deep sense of self-love. But really, this is something that should be prioritized above anything else in your everyday, apart from maybe drinking or eating, because that's very important, and sleeping. But this is definitely just as important as that, so definitely don't neglect this. But with enough practice and patience, we become better at catching ourselves falling into old thought patterns of self-sabotage and making us easier to snap back out of that and rewire our direction of thought to something more positive. For example, catching yourself saying like, I'm so stupid, you know, if you drop something like, and it breaks, right? You're not stupid, you just made a mistake, it's an accident, it's fine. The more you start integrating these practices into your life, the more you start to become aware of this negative self-speak that pops up really a lot more than you'd think. In these moments, we can forgive ourselves for saying such a thing and instead take it back and turn it around and saying, I'm not stupid, I just made a mistake. I'm perfectly imperfect. It is time to graduate from victimhood because you deserve to be happy being the person that you are meant to be. A few examples of affirmations that you could use to get you started on your journey are things like, I am lovable. I am open to love, compassion, and kindness. I deeply and completely love myself. I accept myself. I give and receive love equally. I know I am wanted and loved. I am worthy. I experience the highest love for myself each and every day. I love myself so much that I easily have enough love to give to others. Those are a few examples of some mantras that you could take on for yourself, but ultimately say what feels most comfortable and natural for you. It's definitely good to keep them as short as possible, just a few words, something that's easy to remember and rolls off the tongue, something that you can revisit at any point during the day if you're starting to feel a little bit low or you're starting to catch those negative thoughts creeping back up. It's easy enough to just, you know, stick it on a post-it note and stick it on your laptop screen or something when you're working, or maybe in these times filing out incessant job applications. You are going to get this. You are going to be fine. Love and blessings. As I said at the beginning, I feel like now more than ever is a really important time to remember how perfect and lovable we are. When the outside world is not so forgiving and opportunities are not so abundant, it's super important that we are nourishing ourselves and our well-being so that we manage to keep level-headed through these tough times. We've already come so far in the last few months, and you know, I'm an optimist, but I really like to think that, you know, the fog's gonna lift sooner rather than later. But an easy way to just help get through this anyway is developing a self-love practice like this. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for listening. I would love to know how you got on. Please let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, please subscribe for future uploads and don't forget to hit the bell button so you don't miss a single nugget of wisdom. Thank you so much for being with me here today, and I appreciate you, I love you, and I love me, and you love you too. God. Oh God, sometimes I make myself cringe so much. Anyway, no, it's not. We're all good, right? We're all loving. It's fine. Thank you for being here. And let me know if you have any suggestions that you would like me to cover on future videos. Love and blessings. Namaste.